computer died in the middle of the recording. So we're gonna start off the series with Ubers, and I am gonna be like live reacting to it somewhat, but this scuffed recording will be very tricky. So I'm still gonna go through the teams. Both are running very bulky offensive team. Now I do know the sets because I've just watched the game. But what I said before watching it was Ice Guardian is probably running some sort of like maybe Groudon Hazard Sack sort of team, like bulky offense stuff. Whereas Viciate is just running like a pretty bulky offensive team with like a lot of big mons that like want to trade. And so let's see how this goes. So as you can see, the Groudon into the Eternatus lead. The Eternatus does a lot of damage with Eternamax. And then instead of trying to just kill the Groudon, goes for T-Spikes, but then the Groudon misses. And then now it's out of Dynamax Cannon, so it just goes for Precipice Blaze again, but misses again. And X Guardian just very quickly finds themselves in like a very terrible position. Because the Necrozma takes a Fire Blast in the sun, Dragon Dances, but it is still slower. So it just takes um goes oh, and now Dynamax Cannon does a chunk. However, um this Eternatus, as you will see, is Sludge Bomb, which means it does not have recover because it already showed three moves, or like three attacking moves and toxic spikes, so it just cannot heal other than this citrus berry. So it will Sludge Bomb once, twice, and then like a third time, and still no poison, which is a little unlucky for Viciate. But I mean, they dodged two Precipice Blades, so they cannot really be that mad about it. I, anyways, gonna heal here. Still not getting poisoned, and gonna just die to the burn. So Lunala here, X Guardian probably scouts the Meteor Beam. We'll take a Focus Blast, but we'll be able to trade the health on Arceus for the Lunala. As the Zacian does come in. However, Ho-Oh, as you will see, Eteras. And so obviously we'll trade with Zacian. And now Vitiate is stuck in a pretty awkward position. Goes straight to Necrozma, trying to like make something happen, but gets burned immediately. Um and is now just stuck in a really shit position. Um like gonna try to Dragon Dance again, but even at +2 with the burn, Phonogeyser does not do that much to Kyogre. Like it does 58, which is good, but I don't know if that's one extreme speed range. And gonna try to position the Koraidon here, hoping that this Kyogre tries to Ice Beam it, but the Kyogre just goes for the Thunder Wave. Does miss the Origin Pulse though. So because they miss the Origin Pulse, suddenly Vitiate is back in an almost winnable position. Because the Koraidon comes in, its boots, it will try to go for the Sword Stance. But as you can see, it still does not kill the Koraidon because the Koraidon does have the defense boost. Um, so now it's up to Arceus versus Arceus and Ho-Oh. And it is going to be Life Orb Arceus. This is like a super offensive team from Viciate, much more offensive than I first thought it would be. Barely anything on this team is like everything takes hazards. It's almost like a hyper offense, but like without hazard. Like yeah. Anyways, this is what I was talking about earlier in the recording that you guys did not see. The RCS for Viciate, it appears to be slower, or it's a speed tie that was lost. And it just barely kills the Ho-Oh. And then the Ho-Oh kills it with the Brave Bird. If this Arceus had been like recover, maybe could have won. Or like if they just attacked and tried to set up against the hoe, but then you risk getting burned. I guess this is yeah, this is like probably the best idea to go for that. Maybe this was a roll, but I don't think so, right? Um, yeah. Anyways, good plays by Vitiate, and I'm gonna move on to the next one. So Kimmer against Breakneck Blidius, or just Blidius, right? That makes sense. Kind of a hard name to read when it's split up like that. But Kimmer running a pretty common six, I would say. Probably gonna be like some sub Hydreigon or just nasty plot. Definitely gonna be Scarf, Zapdos, and then the other guys are just really normal. You guys, as for Blidius running Spike's Gastro, I'm assuming with the Tinkaton, probably gonna try to steal some boots on contact moves, and then Sinistra to prevent spinning, and then Tornadus as like a cleaner, and then Weavile and the nimble, not nimble, the low kicks as the offensive core. Double Dart does look pretty threatening into Kimmer if if Lydius can somehow find a way to chip down the Skarmory. Maybe no, Terrablast was banned this week. I guess the Skarmory Clodsire core might be a bit tricky to handle for Blidius because obviously you're taking like Rocky Helmet Chip. Um, but the rest of the team, I guess Hydreigon does farm this Sinistra pretty badly. Um, Depends on what kind of set it is. Let's see how this one goes. It really depends on like if like the Claude Skarmcore can like hold on, and you're probably gonna Terra Skeledirge at some point to help handle the two dark types. I would assume. Lead Thunderous into Slowking. You can just go hard Claude here. You don't really have to mess around. Knockoff Taunt. Is this Poison Jab or is it Toxic? If it's Poison Jab, okay, well, if it's Poison Jab, you definitely go for it now. Yeah. So it is Poison Jab, so not that great, but not that bad either. Here you threaten the Encore. That's probably why Kimmer did not just go for the recovery, but now that Clodsire is kind of stuck at low health, so it might lose to the Thunderous long term actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a couple of layers of spikes here. And I'm assuming Slowking comes out here on like the spikes, and then we'll just chilly reception, maybe into Hydreigon. No Clodsire. Probably gonna try to go for, am I gonna poison jab you? Does get to poison jab on the taunt, but still no poison. And we'll just poison jab the low kicks. Still no poison. Scar does just check, but now that there's a rock in his spikes, the Thunderous looks like it will actually be defeating the Clodsire. So yeah, you just taunt here always. You don't really care if it poison jabs you. I mean, do you? Because yeah, beating Clodsire is cool, but it's mostly cool for the Thunderous. And there's no longer any living Thunderous that really take advantage of the ooh, so Hydreigon here does just flash cannon this. Yeah, you can encore this guy, but I don't think it really helps you. Knock does not break the sub, and now Hydreigon should be just killing the Tink. No, not quite. I mean, yeah, you would rather be like, behind the sub and everything. Um, yeah, good focus blast avoidance with Skeledirge. Um, Also, what I said about Skeletors earlier was wrong. Uh, you always want to keep Terra Steel for triple axle, I guess, if you do have it. So Kimmer just, uh, good terror awareness. Probably the Hydreigon does look pretty good now. Dirge. I'm thinking this guy looks like it's in a really good position. Uh oh, good catch. I'm thinking, wow, he actually went for it. Blitz, obviously expecting the Hydreigon to come back in, goes for the Thunders, but uh, Kimmer catches it out, and then I'm gonna guess just does not slack off. Why is it stuck? I'm surprised that Blidius is not trying to knock this off. Yes, and this is gonna take a lot from but yeah, Shadow Ball just does kill. It's not like Hex or anything. It's just Shadow Ball. Yeah, I guess Camera just wants to go into Hydreigon and keep clicking, but I'm mostly scared for Camera. Like, what is stopping the Thunder? I guess yeah, the Thunders will probably be getting a kill. Here you could just go back into Skarm, right? Slow King. That is very dangerous. Yeah, they'll just die. Why not just Skarm? I think Skarm does not die from 2 hits here, right? Maybe it does. And Slow King might have been cool for like, I don't know, like this guy, maybe? Sinistcha Poison? I guess if he keeps like this is a very aggressively played Sinistcha, not at all what you would expect. But now I guess it just comes down to Focus Blast, or I don't know why you would go to Skarm now. Oh no, it's low kick, so it just wins because you low kick this and it kills. Yeah. I guess you could just knock into Thunderbolt. I think maybe. No, if it's low kick, it's always a very difficult matchup. Unless you, if the Flash Cannon had killed the Tinkaton way earlier, might have been in a much better position. Because now you're behind a sub. You're chilling. Yeah, you have to attack, but even if you keep clicking it into anything, it's still good damage. Hard to say, but I think Blitty's just good awareness in general was able to chip down this Skarm very efficiently, and the fact that this Thunderous was like taunt knock made it really easy for Blitty's to do progress against the Claw, even though it was poison jab. It was a bit unlucky not to get the poison, honestly, because if it had been poison, if the Thunders were poison, it would have been a much better position for Kimmer. Yeah, this not killing is really bad for Kimmer, I think, because then you would just be in a way better position. This position was still fine though. I feel like I'm surprised they went because I feel like knock is the obvious play here, just like nuking the dirge. I'm really surprised this very offensive Sinistra, uh, for sure. um, yeah, very clutch live here. The fact that it even lives, it barely lives even with the Terra, uh, pretty surprising. Yeah. Mm, I guess well played from both players, honestly. Um, a lot to say about this game, but I think I've already said most of it. Yeah, I guess really could have gone either way, but well played to Bloodius, and well played to Kimmer too, even though it didn't pan out. I think with like either the poison or like a slightly better role, I could have easily won. Played both players played pretty well. Are you? Oh no. Oh god, I hate this tier so much. Uh Webs against a very aggressive Mousehold team with what I'm assuming is just like Uh, four very offensive Pokemon. Yeah, I'm thinking it's like. Okay. I'm thinking it's just like Boomburst, Noivern, some probably like some bullshit Entei, probably Dragon Dance. For Alligator, this crook could be like Scale Shot as well. This Mimikyu is Mimikyu, and obviously Mouse is Mouse. And then Lost Memories running what I would assume to be like the most normal six of all time. It's the funny enough, it's the sample by LBN, but with Torterra replaced with Necrozma. Kind of funny, honestly. One thing, if you read the post, Albion does say like, oh, like Webs just loses the ground type attacks unless you're running Torterra and you need to have like good answer to ground types. This Lost Memories team has no good answer to ground types, and Albion has the Crook. So kind of funny to have Albion face like his own team. Almost Rubambi leading into Feraligatr. Ooh, that's scary. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why you did. What it is it really worth it to Terra this early in this matchup? That seems very curious. I feel like you could always use like a later shift, and you're not really blocking. You might as well just go for like the stun spore. You are faster than it always. Tidy up feels very like I don't know predictable, but if I guess you're forcing them to go for bite will which will not break your sash, but you might as well wait, right? Do it like here. That's not bite, it's bullet seed, which is pretty common as well. Gonna go ahead and fish for the para. Does not get it this time. Probably fish for the para again. Still does not get it. You can fish for para again. Okay, now you get it and you kill. That makes a lot of sense. Uh, Not the best timing for the para, but you do get it eventually. Uh, but getting webs up will be very tricky now. Uh, oh, good pivot by LBN. Now you're looking at the team with no ground resist and no webs. Uh, Kind of a curious knockoff, but I mean, I guess now you're just looking at like websless web versus like a slower but uh more hard hitting core, I guess. This is a very weird game because neither of these guys really have any pivoting options, but Lost Memories has more material, like more Pokemon left. But you kind of want to keep the Terrakion, right? But then what do you send in against Feraligatr? Toxicity on the crunch. Okay. I guess that's a pretty logical sack. Oh wow, Bask just kills in one hit. That's pretty surprising. Probably just because it spikes, right? That makes a lot of sense. Crunch into Sacred Fire does kill. But now Terrakion looks like it just wins. Uh the Noivern, I'm thinking this is like some boom burst. Yeah. Focus blast and Lost Memory calls it out. I'm very surprised by that. I certainly lost this game. I think from both players' perspective, but I guess you just sucker mind game this on the taunt. Okay, not the best anti sucker punch move. I guess now we're just doing this and just gets it. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker punch. I have my own mind game that I go for sucker punch, which I will not reveal. But I feel like Attacking twice, sucker punching twice, and then attacking is the most obvious pattern, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Uh, anyways, here you just Iron Head to mimic you, and I think you just hope for the best. Maybe you sucker punch. I think you just sucker punch here. Oh, drain punch. I guess Albion still wins this. I don't think Terrakion, yeah, kills this. One, two, three. Oh, it's gonna come down to this. Oh my god, dude. uh, wow. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised we didn't see Sucker Punch mind games again, because unless the Mimikyu wants to Shadow Sneak like 15 times, yeah, I'm guessing the Drain Punch. Maybe the Drain Punch just heals it all, anyways. I feel like it did at least enough damage to be like to leave the Mimikyu at less than 3 HP at here after the four. Very crazy end game here. Um, maybe Sucker Punch just didn't even put it out of range for this. Yeah, I mean, hard for me to tell without my calc open, but and then the fact that just hits 4 times, pretty crazy end game, honestly. But well played to both players. Very interesting, like super aggressive, fast game. Anyways, on to the next one. Axer takes against Hacker, and hmm, this Axer takes team kind of looks like I really like these types of like Ditto balance. It kind of reminds me. I was gonna say this kind of reminds me of like a Sun and Moon team, where like the balanced. Obviously, it is nothing like an SM team. It's just the fact that it's like a balance with like spikes, and it has like a Ditto on it to be hyper offense install. And then Hacker is playing also a really nice team with Scyther on non like hyper offense, and a Gudra with the Sandslash Alola, which is not something you see very often. I don't even know what to really even think of this Hackers team. It looks like it might be like Volt Switch Flip, uh, with like maybe Hazard stacking, and then like a Specs Gudra or something like that. And then Axortix is running. Yeah, Axortix's team looks very good here. I think because it's just like it just like lays on the hazards, and then if you can like Terra Ghost your Wochian, you're in a good position, I think, to keep them up. And a lot of Pokemon here take hazard. I'm gonna guess most of them at least take spikes. Reuniclus, a Pokemon I'm a big fan of, and I mean, there's no rapid spinning from Hacker, anyways. Uh, oh, this is very dangerous for Hacker. You don't want to just let this guy U-turn on you. Uh, I mean, there's a Ditto in the back, or I guess Axortix wants to wants to keep the Gligar, or no? Okay, but now you go Ditto, right? I'm not sure what damage was dealt to the Duraludon, but I mean, I guess it all leads to this, right? Uh, yeah, and now this Scyther is just very low health. Okay, so let's take a bit here. This Ditto does not really have that much else it wants to copy other than the Scyther. Now the Scyther is basically dead. The Reuniclus is at 65, and it will be able to heal maybe on the Belly Bolt. Or maybe even on Rhyperior, because it probably has a lot of defense investments. The Vaporeon probably still beats the Rhyperior and allows it to wish to the Reuniclus. And what is stopping the Belly Bolt? The Reuniclus, probably, right? You have to. I'm guessing you're gonna have to get back health on the Reuni. if you're Axotech somehow. Uh, as hacker here probably just goes to the Specs Gudra, right? So goes U-turn Gudra. I think Wochian will not be. Oh no, I don't think this is Specs at all. Unless unless Wochian is way bulkier than I remember it being, but I'm gonna guess this Wochian is probably the very passive Restock variant with Leech Seed. Um, it just makes sense on this like very slow pace of team. I really like it. Axer takes this team for what it's worth. I think it. Okay, Fire Blast, and you're gonna go Vapo. I'm guessing is this actually Specs Gudra? Maybe it's Scarf. I feel like Specs should be doing like way more than. Oh no, okay, okay, fair enough. It is just mixed. Um, as soon as you Draco though, the Vaporeon is just gonna Wish. Yeah, and now you're forced to switch out. And now Belly Bolt. I guess it just. Oh no, it just goes for Wish. This Vapo is kind of a pain in the ass for Hacker. Kind of a kind of a not great Pokemon to try to fight. Maybe you could try to use the Vapo to heal back like the Reuniclus, or maybe even the Woach, or just do this. This looks really annoying for Hacker. Kind of an impasse here, if you will. Uh, just stuck playing this and very slowly losing health on the Belly Bolt too. And as soon as the Gudra is burned, it will also. Oh, do you Scald here? No, it goes back to Woach. Okay, well, Astertix has lost 10 Wish BPs. I feel like it's more. I thought it would be more. Uh, the rocks are up. Gudra does not take rocks damage. It is just boots. And now Wochian just comes right back in. And we're back to this. Oh, clever. Tries to use the. Now the Scyther is almost dead. Now you just drop a Draco. Or you don't. Okay. Uh huh. Maybe scouting for like a Terra Dare. I think that makes the most sense. I don't think the Ditto is really that valuable, and if you can use the Terra on a trade, unless it's Terra Fairy, then that would be pretty bad. But that might have helped Axer takes in the long run. Anyways, this Vaporeon is still a pain in the ass for Hacker. Uh Rhyperior. Interesting. Do you not just Scald here? Yeah, what? Hacker, what was that? I don't get that one. Maybe Hacker thought Rhyperior would live, but it is Rhyperior. Vaporeon does have a lot of special attack naturally, even though it doesn't really feel like it, because it's just. And I just Terra's the Vapo, so it no longer takes that much damage from the Belly Bolt. And uh, yeah, this. I mean, 7 wishes, 6 wishes. Now just gonna attack the Belly Bolt. The fact that this is burned too means it can't be poisoned, which is not great. Okay, only 5 more wishes. This is Hacker at the expense of his entire team has made some progress in the way of PP stalling this Vapo. I don't know if this will. Okay, no, it is not lead sheet. It is only knockoff foul play, which I think is probably better overall and definitely better here. Probably just gonna fish for the knockoff here, right? Oh wow, that does so much. Why did that do so much? And yeah, foul play once, and then I gonna assume this Wuqian just goes right back to sleep. Yeah. Oh man, like Draco. Yeah, this combination of Wo-Chan and Vapo was just very hard for Hacker to do anything about, especially after having lost presumably the Spike Setter turn one. Like you're just putting on like no pressure this whole game. Yeah. If like I'm thinking if Hacker had a Sand Slash this game, like maybe he could have like spikes a bunch and knock off boots and stuff, but instead you're just playing like a 5v6 and you just do not break the Vapo Wochian core without hazards. Like it just looks very unbreakable because like yeah, Belly is just yeah, you're just stuck fighting. I guess Hacker did make this. Feels like it wasn't that close, honestly, because it just kind of felt like he was losing the whole time. But you know, like because the Vapo, yeah, it is losing PP, but the Wochian, not really. I guess what I don't know why Terra Dark was the move. I guess it makes sense, but it does make it harder to use Scyther. But I'm curious why they didn't try to heal the Reuni because this Basket Legion kind of feels like it doesn't do anything because the Vapo is right there. Maybe trying to hit the Scyther, but I mean, yeah, like this Basque is not really doing anything to Vapo, and will just die, and then Vapo just heals back up. Scyther does get an SD. Yeah, and you just sack this, and then you easily beat the Belly Bolt with the other two Pokemon. Right? Yeah. Pretty tough game for Hacker. Uh anyways, on to the next one. Memphis Depay against Terra the Creator. A pretty cool team from both, I would say. I really like the fact that we're seeing more Persians Alola back again in this metagame. I feel like I haven't seen that much since basically last year's BLT. Um, just because it kind of fell off the meta with like the Pokemon that were banned. But I feel like I've seen it more this BLT than I have in between like last BLT and this year. So Memphis Depay running the Persian Alola, which I like seeing, and the Braviary, which is a really cool Pokemon. I think I like seeing Braviary like tear up the mid game. Uh, as for Terra, another very cool team by them. I'm gonna assume this is probably like a no. It could be. I could see this team being two things. I could see it being like Scarf Decidueye and Pivot Grim, or Choice Band Grim and Pivot Decidueye. Probably Scarf Hoopa. Because Scarf Decidueye is just very slow. I mean, Scarf Hoopa also is not very fast. At least Ambipom is naturally fast. Um, and I'm thinking maybe this is like a choice banded Grimsnarl and like Pivot Decidueye. Or it could be like Scarf Decidueye and then like a nasty Plahupa. Something like that. Oh, that is a lot to Persian. Persian just gonna go for the knock. And it is the Dread Plate. That was not in my that was not I'm surprised about that one. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm surprised, because Spirit Break feels very obvious here. Surprised Memphis went to this, And then good call on the pretty uh panded parting shot into the competitive Milo. I'm gonna put Terra in a not great spot here off the rip. Yeah, Ambipom, Terra Dark beat up. Wow, that does a lot of damage. God damn, I think this might be banded Ambipom because we saw the damage it did to Persian earlier. That's not like normal fake out damage. Persian with the fur coat, it is very bulky. That's probably why it did so much. Um, Now Memphis gonna parting shot back into Milo, probably just gonna heal up, and then trade for rocks, I guess. No, okay. Terra just goes for the Hoopa now. Kind of just took damage for no reason, but yeah, this is very tough. Very tough for Terra. The fact that they just lost they just parting shot the Milotic early and then just got stuck in this position and then lost the Terra and the choice band Ambipom. Not great. Uh, yeah, U turn, nice. I'm guessing you just no, you go back to Milo. Milo's just gonna go back to full for rocks, and then you skull. If you burn this, it's basically over. Okay, it's not over, and it is a pivoting decision. So I mean that makes sense from the rule, but the Scarf Florges here is gonna drop to the fake out. Is this even Choose Bandit? I don't know. This Ambipom feels like it. Okay, no, it is definitely Choose Bandit. Because otherwise you would just. And I think Sand Slash will probably just go for the rocks here. You don't really need to keep your Sand Slash. No spikes. Right on this is the rocker. So probably just going to spin here. And Mudstill will attack. And then we go to either Milo or Braviary. Milo feels like it. Okay, no, Braviary is good too. We'll just let the rocks go up, I'm assuming. Or no. Uh, yeah, this looks pretty rough too. I guess the beat up. Wait, triple axle? Why not beat up? I guess maybe anticipating I feel like oh no, because you only have three Pokemon, right? I'm stupid. Uh, sorry guys. Yeah. As soon as your Pokemon start dying, beat up does like no damage. So I guess the Milo just will take the beat up or the triple axle. No big deal. Uh, Scald again. No. Okay. Back in Florge just heals. I think this might be a Scarfed Florges. So you are going to switch out here into the Persian and probably right back into Florges. So that means it probably is not Scarfed. Yeah. I mean, I guess this is why, it doesn't do anything, but it doesn't feel like it would be that bad. Other than the fact that it is just boosting the Milo. Uh, oh. Another boosting. Oh my god, dude. Uh, that's really tough. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah, this went to shit real quick. I think the team was very interesting, but the fact that you know this just put Terra in a really bad position, and the fact that it's CB Avipom, like, it felt like this Milo was just really terrible for Terra. The fact that it kept burning everything and like boosting itself is just super annoying. Uh, like I don't know. It's just very hard to play this, right? Because you don't really pressure the Milo. You're not really like this is really annoying. This is really annoying. It felt very in control for Memphis to play the whole game. Um, Played really well though. Full team and just made the right plays, made the right clicks, positioned well. and was able to win. So good stuff to them. And on to the last game, Raul against TGA. So I'm gonna start off with TGA. This is one of the most normal teams of Lil Cup I think I have ever seen. Sandshrew Elkid I think is a great core in this metagame. Um, Not really that much to say about TGA's team. This is very much like big Little Cup energy. As for Raw, this is a really interesting team, I feel like, because you're not running anything to block Spore at all. Maybe this is like some sort of overcode Volipede, but the fact that you're running two water, like, this kind of screams like Fungus hell for Raul, right? Kind of annoying to deal with Fungus with this. I'm guessing the Mianfu is taunt. Otherwise, I really do not see the vision. And it is probably some hazard stacking team. Hazard stack is something I have not seen much in Low Cup recently, in part due to like just the popularity of Toad School and Sandshoe. Toad School looks also really rough to handle for Raul now that I look at it. Thankfully, there is no Toad School on the screen. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Raul's team. It kind of feels like Goth would be an issue. Grass types in general, like Fungus, Toad, um, double water, and like a lot of ground weeks as well. Mudbray is like the ground resist, I guess. But like, I don't know. Maybe there's like some trickery with this because I don't really see it for Raul. Um, yeah, gonna lead with the pretty. Oh, what the hell? Okay, not at all what I was expecting. So normally I would have just gone straight to the Mudbray. Even losing the the Fungus is so good in this matchup. You want to just, I mean, you want to keep the Violet, let alone like 96%. I think this is like a 1 in 16 roll to kill if you have 25 HP, which you should. Um, but I mean, I guess you are putting this Volbeat to sleep, right? And you do get a decent chunk. Oh no, okay, because it's Scarf. That makes sense, I think. Like it's Scarf Volbeat. Well, it's a Scarfed Paralyzed Volbeat now. Uh Not great. um I mean, I guess that just makes sense, right? Because otherwise you'd just be very slow. Uh Flips the Manfu, goes to Marini. Knocks the Marini off. That's going to be very good for Sandshrew and for Ellicott too, honestly. And then Sancho, do you go for the mud shot? Yes, you do. Nice catch. I don't know if that's a Violet damage. That feels like a lot of damage. Ooh, nice pivot by TGA. Oh no. I've seen this movie before. I have seen this movie before. Dude, I hate this set. It's so annoying. Yeah, now you go Chinchou. Dude, Vullaby. Vullaby. Why is Vullaby still in this tier? Um, God, I'm supposed to be analyzing these plays. Sorry, guys. I, you know, sometimes your hatred for Volbeat just takes over. Uh, Dodges good pivoting from TGA to bring the Fungus back into high health, and doesn't take that much damage on Mianfu. Very good pivoting here, actually. Uh, Azrael just goes to the paralyzed Scarred Volbeat. Uh, I look. No, Ice Beam is far from a 2-hit KO. No. TGH says bitch. Okay, now this is getting very scrappy. Now we're approaching shitty little cup territory. Now that the Fungus, I'm guessing TG has been doing a good job of pivoting back and forth. Yeah. as anticipated. Good play by Raul, good catch. Beams the food. This Marini looks very dangerous now. The Fungus is just the Fungus is just frozen. Okay, good catch. Earthquake might kill here now that it's no longer a Violite. And I think you just let this guy die. Maybe you could have gone to the Chin Chow, but keeping the Chin Chow also just makes a lot of sense. Now we're back to this. Back to our scheduled programming of Frozen Fungus against uh uh, oh, that's so terrible. Oh my god, dude. I'm glad I got to watch this game. Uh, like, oh, that's so stupid. That's okay. Clearly, okay. I mean, surely now, right? You just kill this guy. Does Chicharo not just win? Okay, you do hit the pump. Back to Frozen. Okay, finally does thaw out. I don't know if that maybe little too late. Oh, I guess you still have this guy. I guess this guy is still very broken. Oh man, this game is terrible. What? It's not even the player's fault. This was just like, oh my god, what the fuck? But it's terrifying. Oh my god, dude. Oh, this game feels surreal. Uh okay, so I'm very surprised that the Marini just goes for sludge, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. And now the Terra flying Mudbray comes in and shocks the Volibee with this. The Fungus is still frozen. The Mienfu, I think he might have wanted to keep the Marini though. Maybe the Mienfu was the sack. But I guess now you have Mienfu and a flying Mudbray. Flying Terror Blast Mudbray. Ah, dude, it barely kills. Oh, this was so fire in like the worst kind of way. This might be one of my favorite games of BLT so far. Oh, it's SD Fu, so it almost brings it back. Wow, this was a this was a roller coaster of a match. The fact that it starts like this, and then you get to instant paralyze on like one of the most important Pokemon in the matchup, and not I don't know if it's one of them, but like it would have been nice to have. And then just for it to just go to complete shit like super quick. Good catch here, but man, like this Pokemon is stupid. I have nothing else to add. And then this whole sequence, man, like dodge, and then like somehow here it just catches. If it had not frozen, would have been in a really terrible spot, but gets the freeze, and then the Thunderbolt, and then probably just risk. No, it does not risk the speed tie. Neither player risks the speed tie. Um, and then this. Oh no, this was not the freeze. This was the freeze, right? Wow, this Chinchou really coming in clutch. Oh, dude. Wow, what an experience this game was. Goddamn. It's the set. It's the it's the scarf Mudbray with terror flying, and it barely doesn't kill. I'm guessing this might have been a roll too. I don't know, dude. Uh, well, maybe this will be just has more defense because it's this side, but and then the fact that this barely kills is really surprising to me. I think the Mudbury won it out in the end. Really crazy game. Goddamn. That'll be it for this week, though. So see you guys next week, I think. And yeah, stay tuned. Goodbye.